to planning and licensing today on the 30th of September. Councillor Ken is grovelling on the floor. Apologies, Duncan, please.
This evening we have apologies from Councillors Morris and Spry. I'm going to add Councillor North to that as well, because she was going to come, even though she's only a substitute, she was going to come. She does not need to.
No.
And we are expecting Councillor Adlam. We'll see if she's able to get here in time or not.
A little bit late. Brilliant, thank you. Right, I've declared an interest and have filled in the appropriate paperwork. Has anybody else got anything? No, so I've got an interest in item 8 with the Watergate Bay Hotel. So I'll be stepping out of the room, and Sandy will be chairing for that. Right, management issues. We haven't got any management issues, have we? No, we haven't got a horde of people in the gallery that need hoarding, herding, something beginning with H. Right, minutes. Have we had a chance to look at the minutes? Yeah. No? Yeah. Do you want to propose them, Sandy? Yeah. Joanna's seconding. All votes for vote for the minutes. Yeah. Any matters arising from the minutes? No. Marvellous.
The only thing I'd say is that following on from the decision to restructure the way that we are making our decisions or screening applications before they come here, tomorrow's full council has got an amendment to our committee's terms of reference. So just be aware of that. That's on the agenda. It's quite carefully worded to not be too controversial.
Pressing the wrong thing. Right, wrong button. Right, marvellous. Thank you, Duncan, for that. Any written questions? We have nobody in the audience, though.
No written questions.
Wonderful. So, active consultations. So, we've got the Barrowfields, the consultation for that with the pedestrian improvement at the far end of Lusty Glaze Road, where it sort of becomes from the bollard around that area there, in terms of putting pavement in on pieces that's currently verge. I've got to admit, I mean, years ago when lived on Lusty Glaze Road, there used to be stones on the verge, and I assumed that verge was owned by the residents on there, not by Cornwall Council. So probably wrong assumption by me. Okay. That's all right. Oh, sorry, Joanna.
Just a couple of points. How much of the verge are we losing? Because it's always sad to lose verge. And secondly, I had a query to which I have not got an answer. I did ask, but haven't got an answer yet. Is that after rather inspired by the fact that when they put the monolith in, they'd done a really detailed archaeological survey. In fact, absolutely nothing. I was asked whether there had been any archaeological investigation done along where the Lusty Glaze path is. So I just passed the question along. Have we done any archaeological?
Yeah, we put that on the.
But other than that,
on the feedback. The pressure of looking at you, I think, when it's trying to find the put the useful things up on that.
So to start with, we have a letter. Hopefully you've seen it. Consultation letter. It outlines the proposed improvements. The proposed improvements are a new length of footway on the existing highways verge on Lusty Glaze Road to enhance connectivity from the beach to Newquay Town Centre. And improvements to the existing informal crossing point with tactiles and the reinstatement of existing double yellow lines. So, first of all, we shall have a look at the crossing point, which is this one.
Hello.
Right, that's 1805, isn't it? Right. Right then. Right, okay, so I've got a screen, by Street View to go with that one as well. Let's see if that's worked. Right, okay. Take note of that where this speed bump is and this white house here. We'll just go back. So what we've got here is a proposed tactile paving. I think that's the knobbly paving, which some people like and some people don't like. And this is to improve the existing crossing. As you'll see there, we're opposite number 9, which is the White House here. We've got the speed bump here. I'm slightly concerned that the map isn't massively accurate. I mean, I go down here quite a lot, and I'm not really. Yeah, that's true. Do you want me to find a sunnier one? There you go. If that cheers you up a bit.
I repeat my question: what crossing?
Exactly, what crossing? So, I'm just going to come down the road a little.
The drop curb is actually the entrance to their property, isn't it? So
yeah. So.
On the other side.
So it does, oh dear, it looks like it's been raining. It does make reference to a post on the map. So it says existing post, and that post is somewhere down here. I think there's something really wrong about this, because if we come back up,
because I mean,
so it's opposite number 9, which let's see, that's this house here.
I mean, it has the little
There's
fence.
A chain link fence.
Yes, there's
I
the
mean,
little
that's
chain link
not an
fence.
existing crossing
No.
by anybody's.
No.
So there are definitely problems with this, where if the crossing point is going to be opposite the Callercliff, or if it's going to be opposite 9 Lusty Glades Road. I think the map suggests it would be. Yeah, so that's their entrance to their drive. So it'd be in front of their garden wall.
And there's no existing post either.
Well, not a crossing, but the path ends.
Yes, but that's further down.
But
No.
that's
You know the new path that has been installed?
This could be just out of date.
This image is.
No, I'm talking about the end of the crossing.
So what happens is the new path that has been installed to make it accessible for. Thank you, sorry. It doesn't go to the end where that bollardy thing is. It actually swings round to the right, so that I assume from a kind of health and safety thing, so that then that person in the wheelchair or the buggy, because there probably isn't enough meter space to go to the end, it actually does indicate that you have to cross the road at that point.
Brilliant. So yeah. So I mean,
That's where the new path goes to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go
So-
right to the end. I mean, people still do it, and the road,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
path still looks like that, because
Yeah.
it's not it's counterintuitive to what you would actually do.
So this is out of date then.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's very out of date.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
I
They will
don't
do.
know that level of detail, but I do know, because when I walk past there with my kids on the bike, they were like, "What do we do?" So, yeah.
I agree with all
Right. So the
Path is going across there, and they put tactile paving on.
passing. Yeah, so the crossing will be here. There will be a bit of tactile paving on both sides. We
Yeah.
aren't having to jump across chain link fences or anything like that. That's really good.
And is there a post there?
I
imagine
wouldn't
so.
be able to.
I suspect that there is
There is.
now. I think we have to assume that there is now.
It probably indicates the coastal path, wouldn't it?
Yes, I think it does. Yeah.
So that's the first element of this. The second element is, let's see. So it's going up Lusty Glaze Road a bit, sort of kind of more opposite the car park entrance. So my understanding of this one is that, let's see, so this all along here,
People have eroded it anyway, haven't they?
yeah, so all along here
Yeah.
is, they may well have done work along here now. No, it says proposed footpath on Highways Verge. We aren't told what the material's going to be, but I'm presuming that they're tarmacking it.
Yeah.
But they haven't told us. And then it says that there's some block paving footway a little further down. I'm guessing that that is probably already in place then.
Well, the road becomes block paving down there, doesn't it?
Yes, that's
So that's, I mean,
That's
we've got
tarmac.
tarmac, but my reckoning is that it's saying that this bit here would correspond with this bit of, but they don't say that's proposed, so that may well be in place already anyway. So what we're being asked about effectively is this,
It's pretty scrubby verge there.
Oh, it's been heavily eroded because
Yeah.
people are just avoiding walking on the road.
so
over the years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the second element of this.
Are they leaving any green at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me go back to the.
An annoying piece that will never get mown. Yeah.
Yeah, there you can go. You see, there's a. So the path runs. I think this looks as if it runs pretty much along.
By the wall.
Yeah, pretty much where this pathway is at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, my only comment on that was that it would be nice if it was permanent or footpath. I think the,
Nibble did say.
yeah, permeable. The footpath is resin, isn't it? That is the, it should be. It depends what they put underneath it. It should be, yeah. It should be with all the pebbles in. So, a permeable path, please. Yes, Joe.
Okay, so I just want to comment on the informal crossing point. So we could go back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure that this is being looked at by the paths people, it is their job, but there is a clear desire path, if you know what a desire path is.
Yeah.
A desire path is where people go, not where they're told to go.
Yeah.
The desire path is very strong. It hasn't been changed and it won't change. The proposed crossing won't be used. People will
Yeah.
go straight on.
They do.
So, I mean, I think what I would like to feedback is to note the very strong desire path that they have ignored in the planning of this path. There may be some logic to it, and I've heard previous councillors and Cornwall councillors talk about a danger at that point of entry to the road. So there is a logic, but if the desire path is so strong, that's what people will continue to use, and it is not appropriate to simply ignore that and bury your head in the sand.
So effectively what's happened is they've produced a new path which has gone down to where the yellow bit is. And then they should actually be extending that.
Well, they don't want people to use the desire path, but people are using the desire path because that is by
That's what they
nature
will
of
do.
the thing what it is. Right?
Anybody coming out of...
My own view is that they should have modified the desire path to make it accessible
Yeah.
and safe, not
Ignored it.
tell people what to do, because they will ignore you and they will go
Ken-
the way that they want to go.
My idea on that, because the desire path and it's heavily eroding and it's right by the cliff edge, that's not going to happen. That actually this piece of land probably needs fencing off for that it won't be public. I said to draw the edge of the
Well,
cliff back
I
up.
think I've noted. I think probably our discussion reaches the limit of its agreement here, but I just want it noted that that is a very strong desire path, and it needs to be taken into consideration when making modifications to the plan.
Can you take us down to where Joe's talking about?
Yeah.
I know what he means, exactly what he means.
Yeah, sorry, the end of the desire path being here.
Yeah.
The bollard.
So Yeah.
That is the design path.
You see,
Yeah.
that's the fencing for the top of the cliff. That people literally are walking around the edge of the cliff. So up on the other corner, where the cliff has collapsed before, it is really close to the road, and they've had to over the years move the fencing back from the cliff, and gradually. So you know, really, then they need to,
So
you know.
that's an erosion risk, is what
Yeah. And of course, with it being trampled, it's effectively created an impermeable surface. So you're going to have water sitting here. You know, it's not a great scenario because
Well,
the cliff edge is so close to the road anyway.
You would like to see that closed off so that you couldn't walk
Yeah,
across it.
yeah.
What's
So-
on the other side of the road? Is it a pavement?
There's a pavement.
It's pavement
I would
there.
imagine that the end of the path, that desire thing, isn't wide enough, so they would have to make adjustments in the road structure.
But you're right, Joe,
as
they
well.
won't use it.
No, they won't.
Well, so at the moment we've got the worst of both worlds. I mean, your
Yeah.
idea of fencing off is an interesting one. But we've got, if you're saying it's eventually going to become unsafe because of the erosion.
No, it
risk,
will. I
then
mean, that's the edge of the cliff there. Look how
Yeah.
that is.
I think the message is to help them have another look at this, really, isn't it? Because
But they need to consider what will they do with the existing desire path.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
To basically
Limit
encourage, limit access to it, so it makes people use the
Well,
paving
but do we
provided
need that?
away
Do
from the
we-
cliff edge.
Do we need to limit access? That's a question that they need to start with.
Yeah.
If it is the case that it is dangerous because it's an erosion risk, then let's get an answer to that question. But there's a lot of assumptions here, and I just don't think the proposal that we're seeing on the screen here is going to produce the footfall that they want.
So what they're getting are people from the newest road coming.
Joanne, you need to put your thing on.
Rusty Glaze Road, and they are literally doing what you were saying there. They're crossing the road there. Going
Yeah.
along the cliff edge.
Yeah, so people are following the path here and coming out here. It's only going to be probably maybe if you're on a bike or you've got pushchairs or wheelchair or wheeled, that you might then do this and cross over, and then to cross back again here.
Yeah, it is not within human nature. I mean, it doesn't need a psychologist.
And I think
I don't think any person has raised it.
if I can just say something else, Karen, before you go, can we also, there doesn't seem to be any signage indication that there's going to be crossing points anywhere. None of that's indicated here.
Sorry, what do you mean?
The warning for people, drivers, that there's crossings, pedestrian crossings. I don't know, but it's not marked on here though.
On bend as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's a slow road, but
yeah.
it is. The
Well, it's
side
two
line,
bends.
right?
Yeah.
And it just seems like a really weird solution to something that
Yeah.
sort of actually
I just think the desired path point is really relevant here. Why spend money? In my mind, why spend money on creating the better path on the right-hand side? Why don't they create a better path on the left-hand side? People are naturally wanting to be on that left-hand side to see the view.
Because
so
this
bring
is
the fence further forward and make the path to the right of that desired path.
Yeah, along the edge of the road.
Along the edge of the road, that's where people want to walk. Make the path that side of the road.
Yeah, so you're saying extend this down to here.
Yes, so you bring that border fence a little bit further forward
Yeah.
because of the erosion idea, but people are still walking on there and they will continue to do that. So
I
why
think-
spend the money on the other side of the road? Pointless.
Yeah, I agree that it's about spending money. Sorry.
Francis, did you say that they've actually already done this part? The path work is already there? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
done already. What they're putting in is just putting in tactile paving for visually
They're just improving the crossing point.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to me that what you're saying is that with the other one with the footpath, you'd be looking at some permeable. We would like some permeable material, and with this one, we are looking for some reassurance that the desired path is, maybe they'll repurpose that chain link fence or something like that, but that's going to, we would want to see people discouraged from that existing route. Do you know if they've done anything to that? I should have wandered down at it, because they have done a lot of planting around that area. They may well have planted it up already so that you couldn't walk on it. No, so that you couldn't walk on it.
So the other new bit is the bit on the top right. So, yes, coming down to Veneers.
Yeah.
And what people will do is cross the road there, won't they?
Yes, I mean, normally then people just cross the road over here
Yeah.
and continue walking along here.
What they want
to walking right here and then crossing back in. It's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, it won't happen.
People are still walking. Have been considered better then, and it's, I mean, because it's a cycle path, isn't it? So this is for cyclists more than pedestrians.
Well, it's a joint usage path.
Yeah.
You can argue that if you're a wheelchair user.
Yeah, but people, if they're walking, want to walk at the top of the cliff to get the best view, and that ends up being really muddy and stuff, and people just, and it widens because people avoid the mud and the puddles. So. But there's going to be no budget. They're not going to have a budget for that. They've got no money.
Well,
This is
budget for the change.
true. Yeah, maybe that's already been budgeted for.
Is there any problem with the top right and opposite that? Are people walking along the cliffside as opposed to the road?
Well, on the road.
The right side, yeah.
Well, Well, if you know, when I used to live around the corner, if I was going down there, then I'd walk around the corner, walk down the road to go down to the beach. I wasn't walking on here. So, but if people are walking up from Porth, then they're obviously walking on the verge there that have eroded that to avoid the road. And I guess, yeah, that's
grey
not.
bit is actually a desire path. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
That they are sort
Yeah.
of, that they are able to take advantage of. That's a desire path, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a fully fledged footpath.
On the other side, the hedging is such.
Yeah, well, that's the fence there on the road. You haven't got room.
And what are we being asked to do, by the way?
You're just consulting on it. So it's just commenting on it.
Yeah, so if we go to the letter, we have one of these forms here that we fill in for this type of thing, and it says whether you support or object.
Oh, can we tick both? Do we support the top bit and then object to
Well, I think by the sounds of it, it's
We do
supporting it
support it.
subject to confirmation that they're going to.
Yeah. So it's the list of buts, isn't it? So where's the signage, please, for road users?
So we've got some reassurance about signage for road users,
Permeable surface.
permeable surface, and some reassurance that people aren't going to just be able to walk along the
current desire line.
the desire path.
Anybody else got anything? No, okay.
So what's the logic? What happens now? Duncan prepare something.
It sounds to me like you're saying you would support it in principle with some buts that we need.
Thank you, Karen.
That we'd appreciate a bit of.
We've only got to the 8th of October.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't bring this back to another meeting.
No.
Duncan to do his
Yeah.
his normal excellent job.
Work his wily ways. That'll be amazing, Duncan. Thank you.
Yeah, so presumably, I mean, I need a proposer in a second there, and whether
So,
we're supporting or objecting.
I'm proposing supporting this with the buts. Yeah, all in favour with the buts?
No, I'm going to abstain. I'm not happy,
Okay.
but I'm not going to object.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all right, Nat?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, wonderful.
That is, consider that done.
Okay, so the next item I'm stepping out of the room for. Over
Right,
to
yes,
Sandy.
indeed you are. This is an application for a time-limited premises licence. I don't think we need the application, I'll just bring up the premises plan. Yeah, so this is Watergate Bay Hotel. I'll just zoom in there a little bit.
Change the time to 9:30.
Yeah, it's rare to see time-limited licences. They used to be a thing a while ago, but you don't see them that often these days. So,
It's almost like a temporary event.
if it wasn't going on for as long as it is, it probably could have been covered by a 10. But anyway, so the premises is described as a Christmas ice skating within a marquee that will be situated within the car park at Watergate Bay Hotel. So in this car park here. The application for the premises licence, it's for a fixed duration between November this year and January next year. Presumably that's the start of November this year and the end of January next year, I would have thought, for a temporary Christmas ice rink. It will be open to the public from 9 in the morning till 10 at night. The retail supply of alcohol, which is full consumption on the premises only, is 11 o'clock in the morning till 9:30 at night.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
But ice and alcohol, I mean, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad somebody said it, because I think most of us were thinking it. So, in terms of the car park, the question I had, which the officer got back to me very quickly about, was will the car park retain a number of spaces for use by the hotel guests? And they will. So some of these car parking spaces will still be used. For hotel guests, non-residents would be using the car park on the other side of the road. Okay. I mean, it would seem to be quite well. It's got the conditions that you'd want to see. It seems to be quite a well thought out application by premises licence holders at the Watergate Bay Hotel, who've always acted quite responsibly. So,
See, making a meal of this, I'm proposing make no representation. Don't think there's anything we need to say.
I just wondered about the car parking actually. Is it open to this event? Is it open to non-residents?
yes, the car park is solely for the use of hotel guests who will be parking there. I'm told that's one. Yeah, because of the reduced number of spaces, what is left and usable will be for hotel guests only.
But they got a car park.
Non-residents will be able to use the car park on the other side of the road.
Um,
So it
sorry,
limits,
is
basically
that quite
limits.
large, the one opposite?
Yes.
It's quite a huge one, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
cool, Councillor.
That's fine. It was the only concern about people driving to it, that
Yeah,
they need to be able to park, otherwise it'll be carnage on those roads.
Thanks, Sandy. So I've just got a question. Perhaps we could direct this back to them. The question is, as a result of the ice rink, are there any loss of accessible parking spots? I'm thinking about accessibility.
Yes, would you be raising a representation to have a hearing on it?
I think we can ask them to be mindful.
That's a good point, Joanna. Are we within scope if we make no representation? Does that if we ask a question, do you have to make
Duncan
a representation,
yes.
or can we make no representation with some little caveats?
No, I don't think so. You just make.
Well, let's see what
You're making a but Duncan can always ask.
They would, I'd certainly ask, but you wouldn't see a premises licence application turned down for the reason that you're describing. It doesn't undermine one of the 4 licensing objectives.
Yeah.
In my sort of qualified view, it's disabled parking spaces are covered by other legislation.
Okay.
So in terms of the licence, I don't think that it has any bearing.
Can I just ask, because ice skating rinks are notoriously non-environmentally friendly for many reasons. One, the amount of energy needed to freeze the ice on a permanent basis. 2, the chemicals that are in the ice are really important. So have they put anything in their application to indicate what environmental measures they're going to take to make it as low impact as possible? And if they haven't, can you ask them to consider that, please?
We can certainly ask them
Thank
to
you.
consider it. Again, there is the Licensing Act deals with its 4 licensing objectives, none of which have no even recognition of the environment around us. Unfortunately, when they made the legislation in 2003, no thought was given to environmental issues whatsoever in the legislation. We can certainly ask. We can certainly return a comment to. Well, I mean, we could email Mr. Ashworth, really, couldn't we? But
should they not be asking for a planning application for this? I mean, what you're bringing up is planning issues. So they're not actually. They're going to put a marquee with an ice rink, and don't have to ask for planning permission.
So the planning side of it is obviously outside of the licensing.
Yeah, so this is the licensing.
Yeah, but in terms of planning, this falls within the Article 4 directive, and temporary structures do not have permitted development rights. It means that they do need to. I believe that it means that they need to get some sort of planning permission for this. And they may well have already submitted an application. Planning and licensing sit very, very separately from each other.
Can I change my proposition then to no representation on the licensing application, but would be interested in seeing the planning application? Or would expect there to be a planning application?
I wonder what the best way to handle this is. Do you think that we ought to maybe, because I mean we have a decent relationship with the Ashworths, do you think that we might drop them an email and see how they respond? I mean, I'm happy to. I'd be happy to do that.
I think that would be a good idea.
But I don't think that is so far aside from the licensing stuff. It should have. It's definitely something they need to think about, but it has no bearing on whether they get the premises license or not.
There is 2 types of ice rink as well. There's the one that's proper ice, and then there's another one that's they're almost like plastic boards. that people skate on. I don't know if you've seen that. But
Yeah, no, I have. I've seen it.
might-
I've fallen over on it as well. I've fallen over on a
They
number of
might
icy
be
surfaces.
using that option, which is not, yeah, it's not ice. It's like it's like a board, and it. Well, I don't know whether it is because there's no chemicals
Well,
as such involved.
The
So,
line of going to Will Ashworth and saying,
what is it they're using? Yeah.
are you going to put a planning application?
I mean, I'll certainly ask Francis's question about environmentally friendly and if there,
Do we have a second?
if there are any mitigations. But we do have a proposal
Do we
on
have
the
a
table
second of Joanna's
of no
proposal?
representation.
Can we just remind us what the proposal is?
The proposal was not to make a representation on the licensing application, but to follow up with some of the planning issues, maybe informally with Will Ashworth.
Yeah, got a second.
Yeah, yeah, I think, you know, there are all businesses, but I think if you can find out a little bit more on the assumption that it doesn't adjust their project planning time, because I appreciate it's not actually scarily that long, but yeah. The other thing I was going to say, will they provide any benefits for maybe school children groups and things like that? And
None of
No, I know.
which has anything to do with
I know.
licensing.
But still, I
application.
just want to say,
Well, we've got a seconder. Can I have a show of hands?
Yeah.
You seconded it?
I think I
Carol.
did. Okay.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, I think I'd like to think that they thought this through in terms of the Article 4 directive. We'll have to check. I'm 99.9% certain that that area is covered by it.
I think engaging with them.
Yeah, yeah,
You've got
absolutely.
all sorts of questions you can answer.
Yeah.
Martin?
Wasn't too traumatic then, because all the biscuits are still here.
Right.
We've got a secret second packet under the desk.
Awesome. Right, 8.ei, 2.ei's, Clover Club, Bank Street. Please, Duncan. Outside paving again. Outside seating on the paving, again. Looking at the photos though, it suggests they're already out there.
It is already out
We've
there.
got that street view as such. So this is the Clover Club, 19 Bank Street. The application is for our furniture, as detailed in the application, on the highway to be used for the construction fee. This is another one that sort of follows licensing, having walked around the town, sort of over almost 3, I think. So we've got some images. So this is obviously, this is an existing layout that I suspect that a licensing compliance officer has wandered past and said, oh, have you got a pavement license? They've said no, and they've been encouraged to apply for one. So that's their set out. I think it's been pretty much like that since day one. They have provided us with this lovely layout. Basically, you can see that they sit 2.5 metres out from the sort of building line of the premises, if you like.
No, it's 4 metres out, Duncan.
It isn't, because 4 metres is the measurement from this door to there.
Oh, is that? Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So it,
Right.
so it
Okay.
extends past the.
Yeah.
What I said was extends on the blockwork. It
Yeah,
extends
okay,
2.5
yeah.
metres.
Sorry.
We'll go back to. No. That's fine. But do you see what I mean? This bit is the bit that's kind of undercover, and this is the bit that actually sticks
Yeah,
out that they
okay.
need the licence for. So I mean, I would suggest it's quite straightforward, unless anybody has heard any sort of kind of complaints about this particular layout.
I mean, I mean, it's pedestrianised area, but we do have large, delivery vehicles. I wouldn't want to feel that it's coming anywhere beyond that because, they still need to have lorries get past there. I didn't know if something could be there for the visually impaired because it is sticking out notably much further than previous applications that we've seen. Yeah.
Looking at the photographs, there's a sort of plant thingy.
There is a planter there, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, photo 1 and photo 2 look remarkably similar. Oh no, there we go.
I don't know whether I would be so happy like with Superdrug. That's quite encroaching on their entrance actually, and it's sticking out quite a lot.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit of an optical illusion, isn't it? And they've got the gap there for. Oh no, they've got a planter there as well, haven't they? Joe, what did you want to say?
Oh, well, I was just going to say that I think it's quite nice, and I'm happy to propose something,
Yeah.
but I don't know whether people are wanting to have a bit more of a discussion before we get to a proposal.
I think it's been in place for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm not aware of the town council having received any
no complaints from
complaints
Superdrug.
about
So.
it. Highways have certainly had plenty of time to have a look at it and
Yeah.
and haven't raised any. I go into Superdrug reasonably often and I've not sort of stumbled over it. I think the
Okay.
comment about a tap rail, that's what you're talking about for visually impaired, might be a useful comment to return to them. Others that we've seen, the ones that we saw at our last meeting, I think both of them had, that was Cafe Nero and, what was the other one? There's another one as well, but they had tap rails around.
Yeah.
And it might be worth suggesting
could we
that in that
suggest-
busy part of town. I don't
Yeah.
think we can insist on it, but we could
Yeah,
encourage
yeah. Yeah. So,
Officially, because if you go back and say it's a great idea, it's a representation. It's one of the
It's
stupid
not.
things,
But this isn't like a licensing act
isn't it?
representation. No, you can say whatever you like with one of
Oh,
these.
good. In that case,
Yeah.
say it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not.
That's
It's not the
far
same
no
as the
further.
licensing act. It's a different way of doing things. I don't think there's any specified way. Effectively.
Yeah. So I'm happy to propose that there's no representation.
Well,
from
if you
this.
want to say
yeah.
about a tap rail, then you are making a
Oh
representation.
right. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Sorry, it's far too complicated,
This is-
isn't it? It's not an objection. We are using the word
No.
objection.
No. Sure. No. Yeah.
I would like to think so.
Yes. Yes. It's sort of like. Yes. Karen.
I just wanted to point out that the previous owners didn't come out as far. It's been like that for years, but it hasn't been as far. Definitely not. You see where the little the block paving starts? I only think they came out just beyond that. So they've come out another 2 metres since being the Clover Club, which is why it's just. I agree. It looks nice.
But it is-
has come out. They've
Setting a
definitely moved it out.
precedent
Yeah.
that if somebody then on the other side
Yes.
starts coming out that far,
Well, I'm gonna ask whether a precedent like that would be welcome or not. I mean, I think there's an interesting way of living your life to have a cafe culture, living out on the street and eating all together. I think it produces an incredibly nice atmosphere.
we just complained
I was gonna
about
say the same.
the Nero, about Cafe Nero though, that they didn't come out so far and it was just up to the premises from a single row of seating as opposed to
It was a much narrower part
it
of the
was a
street.
narrow part of the street.
And it's
yeah.
a part of the street where cars actually go on a regular basis because it's that corner up.
Yeah.
By
So
the
I
bollards,
think
by the bollards.
it's different.
Okay,
But I think the
yeah.
more we can support local businesses, because that shop
Okay.
has changed hands regularly, and the more we can encourage a kind of cafe culture on the pedestrian high street, I think
Okay,
the better.
yeah, that's fine. Vote on. did I propose? Did I propose? Yeah.
If you didn't, now's a good time.
Okay. So I
So we're going to submit a representation, you just mention it's
yes, but basically support the application. Seconder? Yeah, no, Joe, go for Joe. I think Joe was. Okay. Sandy seconded. Sandy seconded. All in favour? Yeah. Karen's objecting or abstain? You want to put in? Yeah.
Only about a metre.
Right. Next thing.
next thing.
Street trading policy. 8.3.EIs. .EIs. I use it for my exam marking. We refer to those layout of questions.
Yeah, that's nice, is it?
Oh, I missed it.
So we've got some licensing updates. So there is finally the third attempt at a grant hearing for Sahara City, which Sarah and I are going to attend tomorrow morning. Hopefully it's not going to take forever. It really shouldn't do. The Cornwall Council street trading policy, you remember that we were consulted on changes to that, and that has now been to whatever Cornwall Council committee, and they have agreed it, and the new street trading policy is now on Cornwall Council's website, as well as the various changes that they made to the street trading policy that I sort of drew to your attention. DBS checks, there were various policy clarifications. There was a stronger move away from single-use plastics, and also sort of the adoption of various public health low carbon initiatives. There were a couple of unexpected ones as well that have appeared on the new policy. One of which is a street trading register, which is going to be really helpful for me because I try and keep a track of these things. And I never, and if somebody suddenly stops trading, nobody tells me. So and I sort of have to go and check with the officer every now and again so that I have an understanding of who is street trading where in Newquay. So they're actually going to have a register, which is really good. And the other thing is that the licensing service won't be consulting annually on renewal applications. So street trading goes from the 1st of January to the 30th of December.
Oh, right, they've got to be quick.
31st December. 30 days as September, April, June, November. 31st of December. And we always get consulted. So usually around about January time, we're looking at loads of street trading renewal applications. We won't be doing that anymore. Basically, as long as there have been no problems, they will be automatically renewed without consultation, which sort of streamlines it a bit. If we do have concerns about a street trader, we should contact licensing directly, because I think that renewal process was often a way in which town and parish councils could say, oh, we're unhappy with the way this person's traded for the last 12 months. We won't have that opportunity now, but if we have any concerns, we just get in touch with licensing, okay? But in a way, that streamlines it. Takes a little bit of work away from licensing and from us. So that was that. I'll quickly run through them. So we've had quite a few, haven't we? There was 67 Tower Road. 5 of you responded, a majority of you choosing to agree to disagree with that 5-day protocol. The farmhouse, Merbian Farm, Tregurrian. I had 6 councillors respond to me within the deadline. You all agreed to disagree. No one was particularly happy about it, but there you go. 23 Esplanade Road. oh God, which one was that? Oh, that was the car parking space. 7 of you responded to me about that, and the majority of you chose to agree to disagree. And then we had one non-material amendment, which was at the rear of Hendra Road. That was the change in material from zinc to slate. And 5 of you got back to me about that, and you all said that you would support that non-material amendment. So you got 4 there that we've done since our last meeting. They just need to be ratified, so the process was followed.
I'll propose that due process was followed on those. Seconder, Sandy seconding. All in favour of the process? Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who got back to me. I know it's a pain when you have these things raining down on you. Sometimes we go weeks and weeks and weeks without seeing any, and then they all come along at once.
Yeah.
You're not the first person to have done this, and you were at least consistent. I have had ones where there's not been that level of consistency in the 2 responses. So I'm pleased to say that you passed the test. So.
Brilliant. Right, item 10. We're getting on to the hardcore stuff of the planning applications. I think we've got 5 to go through tonight, haven't we, Duncan? Yeah. Right, application 1 is PA 25/05/085, the Tower Garage on Tower Road development. Now, we looked at this last year, and it got, I don't know, I know we objected to it. Did it get withdrawn? It was withdrawn, wasn't it? From, I don't know if you can remember it, from overdevelopment really of the site and being quite imposing for neighbouring properties, that they're going to have this 3-storey development right in front of their...
I say it was withdrawn. No, it wasn't. It was refused.
It was refused.
Sorry, I do apologise.
It was refused.
That's quite remiss of me. It was a refusal.
Too overbearing things. Now it's come back with changes, and we're in conjunction of working with planning officers. But if you look at your pack, then you will see that he's still not happy. But as I say, he says that there hasn't been any changes, but there has been actually quite a drastic change. So from the development, which Duncan is probably pinging his way through. And it's interesting, it's the same developers as number 2 as well, number 2 of C-Space. So I thought that was quite interesting. Anyway, Duncan, going to talk us through this.
Yeah, sure. This is I do apologise. This is a bit of a beast, I think, because we need to understand what kind of came before. I think. Oh God, this thing is driving me mental. Go over there. Right. There we go. Right. So to start with, in your comments document. You've got some background to this. I'm not going to go through it. It's in front of you, and please feel free to read it. So, in terms of comments, I think we've established Mr. O'Brien was one of maybe 8, I think, local objections last time around, and he has come back with a quite a lengthy comment. The local lead flood authority officer has come back and said a surface water drainage strategy is required. Please reconsult. Contaminated land, a Site 2 investigation is required. That's for us. That's neither here nor there. It's something that they will have to do, though. It's because of the nature of the site. The Ramblers have said no objection, but the use of the public right-of-way must be unaffected, and the same with Cornwall Council's public rights of way team. Just as a quick recap, the refusal was that the previous design was considered to result in an unacceptable level of overbearing, overshadowing and overlooking to number 66 Tower Road. If I go on to the if I go onto the street view, so number 66 Tower Road is this property here, okay? It's the first floor, effectively. We've got businesses on the ground floor, and it's this first floor. So it was thought that height, massing, proximity, window placement, etc., were all going to harm the residential amenity of number 66. That was the only sort of material planning consideration that it was refused on. The other one was a lack of a planning obligation in terms of a completed Section 106 agreement, because they crossed that threshold of 10 dwelling units. And they do again with this, but I believe that is now resolved, and that's a matter for Cornwall Council anyway. So, just to familiarise ourselves with the application site. So you see number 66 just sitting there, but the red line application site. The existing block plan. It's characterised, I think, by a large open space, and then these two commercial garage workshop buildings. It's worth noting that I believe that the garage is currently still in operation. Yeah, it is still working. It's not a vacant site.
I thought Tower Garage is actually closed, so it's still somebody else using it.
The application documents say that it's still that it's still operating. And when I went past it the other day,
it looked active.
There were cars there. So.
Yeah. Well,
historically, of course, it's the old Hope fish sellers. As I discovered in my travels. Nothing left of it, apart from the name.
So, we've got a previous block plan. There are sort of two proposed buildings to this. You've got this main, what they refer to as the main building, although there are two elements to this main building at the top here, and then you've got the coach house, what they refer to as the coach house down the bottom here.
Sorry, I can't see what you're pointing at.
no, that one. The main building.
Okay.
The coach house that was objected to. That's the one.
The coach house was definitely seen as impinging upon the upon number 66. Interestingly, though, a lot of the changes have actually happened
On this one.
on the main building. So that was the block plan that we looked at last time. Now, what you've got here is this. It isn't they haven't suddenly put in place a play park and a green field. It's a green roof. So this was effectively this was a 3-storey development. The new plan that has come back keeps this element. The grey element of the main building as 3 stories.
And that's single story.
And this green one has been reduced by 2, so it's now a single-storey building with a green roof. The coach house, there are some little changes to it, but we'll have a look at those in a moment.
It's moved slightly. Oh, sorry, Duncan. It's moved slightly to the east, hasn't it? I think if you flip between the two, that distance, well, maybe not.
Something's changed.
Yeah, it is changing, but it's not. Yeah, the roof's changing. Okay, it hasn't changed position. Right.
Yeah, I hadn't. If it has, it's going to be quite subtle.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a look. The floor plans are, normally the insides of these things aren't that important, but in this case they are. I'm going to get rid of these because unfortunately I'm going to end up opening so many so many PDFs. It's going to be. I'm just not going to be able to find my way around. So. This was the previous. This is that main building that runs along Hope Terrace. The previous spread over 3 stories. It did have 3 commercial units. So this was, when we looked at it last time, this was a mixed-use development. 3 commercial units at ground floor level, and you'll note that the vehicular access is from Hope Terrace, and this is it here between these the building in the middle and the one on the right. So this is a significant change, which is that the site is no longer proposed as mixed-use development. It is all residential. They have got 4 one-bedroom apartments in that space where the retail units would have been. 3 of these are designated as holiday use only. Okay. One important and positive change is that there is now a lift has been added up there.
Good-o.
How many flats are in that one?
So
On the
there
ground
are-
floor,
So
there's
at
4.
ground floor level, there are 4 flats, 3 of which are holiday use only. Okay. We'll now look at.
So the right-hand one is still 3 stories, is it?
They will all be.
If you wait for just a moment, Joanna, you'll get a better idea when I open these ones. When we look at the first floor, it sort of becomes more apparent. Right, so actually no, we don't need that one. So this was the previous first floor plan. They refer to it in the documentation as the Hope Terrace building and the Tower Road building. So this is the Tower Road building because it faces Tower Road, and this one is the Hope Terrace building. They are all one construction, but they refer to this main building in 2 parts. So originally, the Tower Road building would have had first floor and second floor accommodation. The new proposal, it becomes a flat green roof because that part of the building, the Tower Road building, has become a single story. The Hope Terrace building is what does that accommodate now? That it still extends to 3 floors. The next floor, floor 2, mirrors what we're looking at here, and so the 2 floors have 3 2-bedroom apartments on each floor. So you're looking at 3 2-bedroom apartments here facing Hope Terrace, and there's another story of 3 2-bedroom apartments above that. So in total, this main
That's
building
10.
now has 10 apartments, 6 2-bedroom, 3 of them are holiday use only. Previously, there were 12 apartments in this part of the in this part of the development. There were 12 apartments and 3 commercial units. We are told that reducing this Tower Road building to a single story is intended in part to address concerns of overbearing, overshadowing and overlooking of number 66. But it is interesting to note that in the officer's refusal, a lot of his concern seemed to be to do with the coach house. But I don't think it was solely to do with the coach house, but the coach house is obviously the closer part of the development. We'll look at the coach house now. I'll finish this off with the
Elevations.
street elevations, but I do apologise that this is such a fiddly thing to look at. So, the coach house. So it runs along the south of the site, as we saw. It's a similar footprint to the workshop that's there at the moment, and this building is also spread over 3 stories. There is a ground floor. That's the top left image. There's a lobby entrance to the residential units, which it was in this bottom left-hand corner. It has now been moved over to the bottom right-hand corner, so it's moved away from the street and away from number 66. It now occupies space that was given over to there was a secure surfboard store and shower. That has now gone, and that lobby now into the coach house now sits in that space. There were 5 parking spaces in the previous design. There are still 5 parking spaces under here. Floors 1 and 2 are occupied by a pair of 2-bedroom duplex apartments. So 2 apartments that are both spread over 2 floors. In total, there are 12 self-contained units on this development. 9 are open market residential flats. 3 are holiday lets. It's not a mixed-use site anymore. It's purely residential. The site provides, by my reckoning, 13 on-site parking spaces. Policy H4 of the neighbourhood plan would require 20. There is a turning area. There are EV charging points. There is cycle storage. Let's have a look at what it actually looks like.
But I didn't pick up on any where the rubbish and the recycling is going.
It is detailed on there. We can have a look at that.
Okay.
It is detailed on there. Might take me a moment to find it, but it is included on there.
It's on the, there's one on the corner, bin storage upstairs, it says. That's the access to the coach house.
Right.
So I imagine it's like that on the other one.
Yeah. Did you want to see that in more detail?
No, I'll have a... You continue, Duncan,
Okay.
looking at the elevations.
Right, so the previous street scene, I think let's see if we can... Yeah. So this is the side-facing Hope Terrace. So at the top, you've got what's there at the moment, and the bottom drawing that was the original proposal. Okay, retail units, commercial units on the bottom, and then 2 stories of residential above. Again, that was what was there before, and this is the reduced scheme. So the key differences being you've not got commercial units on the bottom, and the Tower Road building, as we're calling it, is now 1 story instead of 3. I'll flick between the 2. Okay.
Right. Sorry, could I just also either question or add? So the top bit, what's currently there, is actually quite set back from the road, isn't it? It's like not on the pavement, whereas I'm assuming. Yeah.
So yeah, you are looking.
Yeah. So what we're talking about
yeah.
is where those cars are, right smack bang on the pavement. is
Beauty of
that.
elevations, they flatten everything out and you don't get that
Yeah.
understanding. You're quite
So
right to
it's,
point that out.
it's a bit misleading, I would say, those images that you just
They,
shared.
yeah, you
But
can,
the windows are
Yeah.
But you're right to point that out.
weren't clear, weren't they? If you go back to the one before the fan before, display before.
so it's the street scene. Is it the, so did you,
Those are the windows of number 66 behind, aren't they?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
on this,
So that's why they are there. So that was the previous one where they had the building in front of those windows.
Right.
Now, if you scroll down, Duncan,
Yeah.
to the plan that they have now,
so,
it's
sorry,
that
this is
room.
this is the plan that they have now?
Yes.
That's the plan they have now, yes.
Yeah.
With the flat roof, so they're not blocking that window. So in the summer, when the sun sets more towards the northwest rather than due west, they would have had sun coming into those windows, and of course that's not being blocked now because it hasn't got the windows in the way. What we're not conscious of though is then sort of like is the coach house is behind that, which I think with the photographs he sent in with his objection is that I think that's through the windows. I'm not sure if it's that through the
There's only one where he does a sort of comparison, doesn't it?
If we just go down to the, so this is the Tower Road side. So that was the previous.
Yeah.
So number 66 is this one just below this.
Yeah, so it's just that distance there. So, it was out
So that's the,
wasn't it?
yeah, so that's the coach house,
Yeah.
that pitch roof there. So that's the
So
new
now it's all
proposal. So
closed.
it was like that, it's now like that.
So what we need to know is really as to what's around the back in terms of his impact then with the catch-up. Because I think this is being redesigned quite well with the single split, and I completely get that. I don't have issues with that. I think it's better now they don't have the businesses on the bottom because we had all concerns with parking and all of that sort of thing. It would have been quite nice if they, like with other properties along the road, that they just have a little bit off the pavement, but I get that, and then they drive through in the middle of the building, so to speak, don't they, through an arch effectively
Yeah.
to the parking behind. But it's that behind his flat as to what's going on there with the coach house. I think that is where our concerns are. I mean, because the design of them, it is in keeping with other housing on the street, with the apex frontage, you know, the gable ends. I mean, has anybody got any issues with that? It is going to be slightly taller than the housing opposite, but not by much. It's just that people are effectively living in the roof space.
So what
With that third story.
Could I open the planning
What
statement?
did the officer say before about the coach house? Because there's not a lot of change on that.
No, well that was what the
So it kind of depends how you interpret it. The design, I think they must be talking about the overall design, not the coach house, not the main building, but the overall design results in an unacceptable level of overbearing, overshadowing and overlooking of number 66, primarily due to height, massing, proximity, window placement. And then it says, and the inset balcony and access walkway of the coach house. And that, I believe, has that element of the coach house has now been addressed. So say the applicants.
So the entrance and the walkway has then moved to the other side, but it doesn't seem to, and they've probably changed the windows. If we have a look at where the window, no, it doesn't actually, when you show that. No, the windows are still there. So they've only addressed part of it, haven't they? But not the distance that it's away and not being over, it's still going to be overbearing, isn't it?
So what we've got here in the planning statement, it says the revised scheme includes a number of design amendments and planning commitments So these include retention of the original pitched roof design to the Hope building. Was that? Okay, that doesn't sound like a change. That sounds like something staying the same. A simplified flat roof with parapet. So we've seen that. That's the first story element of the Tower Road building. A green roof to enhance biodiversity and improve visual quality. Reduction of the coach house balcony and inclusion of screening measures. So that suggests to me that the balcony should not now be, or has been redesigned so that it's not causing an overlooking issue.
Right.
But perhaps we need to have a close look at
The elevations
at
for
the
the
floor plan, perhaps,
Yeah.
to start with. Presumably
So
I'm just trying to figure out where this.
So this is number 66 here, isn't it? On this side, isn't it? Because they moved the staircase to the other side.
Yeah.
So away from that, but effectively then these two windows here they're still overlooking the back of number 66.
They are marked as high-level windows, so they're fan lights.
So they have their fine arc. So okay, so that's there. But effectively, we don't know what his window is at the back, don't we? Because effectively, he's going to have a brick wall, which looks like a couple of meters in his face.
In the photograph he sent, he's only done one. I mean, I don't understand what most of the photographs are supposed to indicate, but he does have two photographs where he shows the building coming in front of his part of his window.
Hang on, let's have a look at those photos.
I've got some photographs. I've got some photographs from the last time. When I've looked at this, there weren't any photographs on there. So are there photographs on the current application?
on the number it's the first thing on the list for the planning applications, Duncan.
Right. I think they've been uploaded since I looked at this.
Okay.
Are they any of these?
No.
So you can see from this one
So
how the
Yes.
reduction
That
to
one
to one story is going to improve
But
the
he
design
says
from his point of
that
view.
the coach house is coming in front of that window. And his latest
Well, it's
photograph.
No, it isn't,
it's
though,
not
is it?
it's not. That's the wrong window.
No.
Well, it's the
Yes.
house with the orange flag. The window he's showing has got something in front of his window.
No, that's the corner.
Is it
This
different?
is going to be the single story in front of that. So this view is not going to be impeded upon anymore.
According to him, it is.
Yeah, and he's wrong.
Well, is he?
Yeah. So what we need is effectively the windows out the side here. So I'm just looking at the photographs that he's submitted.
So I think that this photograph here was from his Little Brick Terrace. Look at, I think that's the roof where the coach house was.
Yeah. But looking if we do look at it, yes. So that's at the front of the corner. If you go to the list of plans and look at and open up the images that he's got.
I'm not certain that
Oh, you haven't. Okay.
I've got a horrible feeling.
You haven't got it.
That it was downloaded.
Okay.
I can find it. Don't worry.
It's the first, it's the top of the list.
So
Concerned about his terrace, isn't he?
I think I need to find these, don't I?
I think you do because looking at them, some of them are of the things, but the windows at the back, and if you look at that, the actual building that they're knocking down is attached to the back of his building, to the back of his apartment.
I can't tell what he's trying to tell us. So the Pebble Dash one,
So the first photo is the first photograph that he's got there, which has the balcony and the step ladder on.
yes, is that,
Yeah.
is that his house?
So that's at his back. So he has a balcony there, and that roof, that corrugated iron roof, will be going, and then the coach house building. So what he's saying is that 2 meters away from his balcony and that double windows is going to be a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plunging into darkness.
Yeah, so if you scan down on that document,
So
keep
we're
going
looking
down.
at that white one.
Keep
There
going.
we go.
Keep going.
So is that,
That one.
his balcony?
That one. So that is the back of his, right, so this is the corrugated iron roof which will be demolished.
Yeah.
And then effectively, from a very short distance away, he's going to be having the coach house side, which is going to be his outlook from that, and shading is going to be badly impacting on the back of his
Yeah.
apartment and his terrace and the little double doors. So if you scroll down then to the next, oh,
I don't know what the next one. Oh, that's the existing building, is it?
so that's the side. So that's
Yeah.
the roof of the existing building.
So this bit here is like cut
Yeah.
away with this terrace.
Yeah, so that's cut away from the terrace. So you can see that it's got a supporting strut that's going onto the cover. So this will go,
We shouldn't
this
involve
will go.
ourselves too much with that
No.
because that's a building control.
Yeah, yeah. So this will go. So you can imagine sort of about this distance here, you can imagine that it's going to be the side of the coach house, which is going to impact on his outlook and the light.
Would it be useful to have a look then again at the coach house, the proposed plan? So I believe that this grey hatched piece
Yes.
of wall here,
It's what we've just been looking
yeah,
at.
is that's the covered bit, and this is the open bit of terrace here.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is separation between the two
Yeah.
where there isn't currently.
So do you know the distance for that? Have you got a scale on there somewhere?
So are they
So
saying
that's
that
1
the
metres.
the
It is about
balcony
2
will look along
metres.
the back of the building.
It is about 2 metres from there to there is going to be his outlook from that. And that will be shadowing over then, especially in the summer when the sun rises more in the northeast. This is going to be in direct line of it. So it will be causing overshadowing and his outlook.
This is a decking terrace for these. But they're putting up a 2 metre screen there.
So that's still, so that, yes, is an improvement, but it still doesn't get away that the whole building is very close to his utility space,
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
terms of
Amenity space,
in
thank
terms
you,
of
utility space.
windows,
outdoor
the
toilet.
only windows are
Yes.
the high level ones. So there's no overlooking from the coach house.
Really oppressive.
Yeah.
Space.
So we would turn that in terms of a material consideration. We would talk about the outlook that they have.
Yeah, yeah,
You've got no right to a view, but you have got a right to an outlook. And
outlook.
at the moment,
yeah.
from what we can, from what we've sort of gathered, where's that?
It's partially blocking it.
So when you go down to the next set of
where's that?
photographs, you've still got the photographs.
Yeah, if I could, yes, here,
Right.
here they are.
So
They're on
if
this
you
Word
scroll
document.
down a bit,
So if you go
Oh,
down.
there's more.
Oh, there's
God.
more. So
So-
that's the view at the back. So this one is then just going to be a single story. So if you think of that line there, he's not going to have his light and his outlook blocked through that
yeah,
set of
so then
windows.
scroll down to the one underneath.
Yeah. Then go down, keep going.
He's put something in there. What's that?
So that's the same photograph from the other side. So he's got 2 rooms looking out that way.
No.
You mean this grey bit on the
Yeah, yeah.
right?
He looks like
The
he's.
end of the building will be.
That's what he's saying. He's
Yeah.
saying it's blocking his.
So
But I don't
even
think
though
it
the front
is.
one is going to be lower with a green roof. The next one.
But that's going to be
I
the
see. So this is the
edge.
the main building. This is what he thinks the 3-story
right.
element of the
Yeah.
what we're calling the hope. But that does make it look very
But is
like
he
it's
right?
right outside his window.
And it's not.
In actual fact,
No,
if we go
that is
back-
much further away.
Yeah.
Oh my word! If we go back to the block plan, I knew this was going to be an absolute beast. I really did.
So
he's here.
he's here, not
Yeah.
here. So
I-
you've got
yeah.
that distance there,
It's a bit incorrect there,
and he's very incorrect there. Yes.
Because when you look at it from the other, on the,
Yeah.
from the floor plan the other way, it's clear, the windows are clear.
He's making out that middle section of that new build is
And it's
further.
where, because it's the further away window as well, which is like here, which, you know, that is nowhere near it. So no, he's wrong on that.
But it's
Looking at this,
perfectly right about the
Yeah.
coach house, isn't it?
I think the single story element is probably going to be that it doesn't have quite as good a view of the road.
Road, yeah,
But,
yeah.
I think that's.
Well, at the moment, you've got a view of the
But
garage. so
I don't think that we can put too much weight on this.
No,
No.
Because I don't think
No.
that this is quite right.
no, that isn't right. Yeah, so sorry, Karen, yeah.
Yeah, I have a real problem with the parking because, as I understand it, we've got 10 apartments, 12 apartments, and then you've got another 10. So, yeah,
So
there's
what's the
22
other 10?
apartments.
No.
So,
No, 12
No.
apartments.
There are 12,
12 in total.
self-contained units. 9, because the coach house is only 2. That it operates over, it's 2 apartments that operate that have a ground floor and a
But they
first
have
floor.
2 bedrooms each, so according to us, they should have 4 parking places.
Yeah, sorry, they operate over, the coach house, it's got parking underneath, and then you've got a first floor and a second floor, and there are
But
2
the-
apartments like that.
the Hope Terrace building, you
Yes.
said there was 6 with 2 beds and 3 holiday use, so that's 9 apartments, and then you've got
So they
4,
haven't got enough.
No,
the
I didn't, no, I
coach
didn't.
house.
I said that there were 6 2-bed,
yeah,
and 3 of those are holiday. In total,
right,
the Hope Terrace building has
Yeah.
got 10 apartments.
right, and the coach house has got
2.
2,
So
it's
12 in total. I know it's
And there's
difficult
5
to keep up with this.
spaces, car
No,
park
there's-
spaces.
And there's 13 car parking spaces. Now, our
right.
H4 policy says 2 bedrooms, 2 car parking spaces.
So how many should they have?
So if we were following H4 to the letter, this would require 20 car parking
Right.
spaces. But they won't refuse it on the grounds of that, will they, Joanna?
Because they're staying sustainable and close to town. But it's something you can add on if we're going to object on any other grounds.
Right. It's a real problem parking around
Oh,
there.
yeah, the Tower Road's a nightmare.
I'm not just saying that because I live around the corner. but
No,
it's
no,
a
Tower
huge-
Road is
it's
a
a
nightmare.
huge problem. Huge. Sorry.
Where do you live?
So yeah,
well, St John's
yeah,
Wood.
so that is the view that view unfortunately will be clear. That won't include the coach house because the coach house would be about
So I don't understand what he's trying to tell us in these pictures.
But it's showing the light coming in, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's showing the light coming in. Of course, then the coach house will be blocking that.
Yeah.
And then the last picture again is slightly over to the right of his, whatever this is, room. So that's the double doors onto his balcony. And again, it shows the light, and the coach house will definitely be
Yeah.
blocking that.
Yeah.
So I'm proposing an objection on the grounds of the overbearing nature of the coach house to his amenity space and to the east facing rooms to his apartment.
And it's
Probably
outlook.
this picture here is, this is his new outlook, I think, isn't it, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
I will now be looking, instead of looking
Yeah.
over a roof,
Yeah.
I don't think he's got a comparable picture, has he,
No, no,
unfortunately.
no.
But he's saying this
Yeah.
I'm losing my outlook
Yes,
to a brick wall.
absolutely.
It is, yeah.
Is that supposed to be the wall of the coach house then?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be brick though. But that he's just conveying a...
Yeah, he's just trying to show what it's like, yeah.
I'd like to say though, before we get the second things, that we support. I support that we've lost the commercial properties, that the flattening of them to creation of a single story to the north of his property is welcomed. But there's still an issue of
I've got one more point,
okay, yeah, sorry, Jonathan.
which Joanna might expand upon. That's Neighbourhood Plan Policy E1,
Which-
safeguarding existing employment sites.
All right.
So this says conversion to residential use will be supported where another commercial use cannot be found or it can be demonstrated the existing use is no longer viable. There are a list of sites where we are like absolutely no,
Yeah. This isn't
or
one of them.
this is not one of them. So this, and with that list we say it would at least have to be mixed development, but this
But
isn't
we
one
would
of
expect
those.
them to provide some evidence that they can't operate it as a commercial operation.
This
Because
what
that's
the
what
part,
we
that's
say.
that's what E1 says, that
Yes.
they need to demonstrate
Really,
that.
I think they haven't demonstrated, because if it's still being used as a garage,
Did we put that in with our first objection?
I don't think we did we?
I thought we would have done.
I think we were probably swayed by the fact that it was a mixed-use
Oh,
development.
of course it was, yes, because it was
Yeah,
mixed use.
yeah,
So we wouldn't,
Okay.
so we wouldn't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
focused on that so
Yeah.
much.
If we are going to object, then we should make reference to
Yes,
that.
as well, yes, yeah,
Otherwise
with the loss of commercial.
So yes, what we said was councils agreed that they would welcome a mixed-use development on this site, which gets the commercial thing out of the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
given the concerns raised by consultees and existing neighbours,
Yeah.
it seems clear that seen these. So it's
Yeah.
no longer a mixed use, it's
So
no
no,
longer
we-
got
yes.
the commercial,
Yeah,
in which case,
we
we're
can
not
add
happy.
that to the list.
Unless they can come back and convince us that you can't run
Yeah.
a garage off that site,
Yeah.
which I don't think they
Presumably, the section in our previous objection, councillors were concerned about parking provision, we could just
Yeah,
cut and paste that, couldn't we? Because it
Yeah.
refers to,
yeah,
it
I mean, we
refers
can
to
note
exactly the same thing. It would require, this plan would still require 20 parking spaces. I know they won't turn it down
yes, no,
on
they
the
won't turn it
basis
down
of
on that,
but
but yeah.
So effectively, we start off by saying, whilst only one local objection was seen on the planning registers, and I don't know which one that was we saw.
It'll be
Probably
his.
so, right, but
It
by
was-
the end of it, there were 8, 9, something like that.
Karen, is it a question or are we going to have a seconder?
So you're objecting, are you?
Yeah, I proposed an objection on this.
Oh,
Karen,
sorry.
yeah, Karen, it's, right, okay. Do you want to can you turn your microphone off as well, Joanna? Right, were you going to, Francis, are you putting up for a question or second? Okay, we haven't got that far yet. I need a seconder. Seconder? Yeah, right. Francis can be my seconder. Oh, good grief. Right. Right, so all those in favour of objection?
The problem is, it's in my division.
Right, okay, so you're going to stay. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, so Duncan, can we also note then that they need to preferably have a grey water recycling system? They haven't put in their drainage plans, so it'd be nice if they had permeable surfaces as well. And can we have some bee, bat, bird habitation provision, not just a green roof, which will be seagull nesting.
The main thrust of this is the impact of the coach house.
Yeah, yeah. On number 66,
So there will still be
To the-
noticeable out.
the eastern side of number 66, or the west side of the coach house is still too close, yeah.
And the effect on the light.
An effect of light, yes, absolutely. Light and outlook.
In terms of the
Okay.
street scene, because that's something that you raised before, are you happy with the street scene now?
I mean, we're seeing it all over Newquay really come up, haven't we, that design of property. See them on Mount Wise. It's quite common now, so there is a bit of a hodgepodge of buildings around.
That's not a particularly pretty area, is it?
No, well, 'cause it's been a garage.
Mentioning E1 is a good one.
Yeah. So even though it's 3 stories, it's basically people are going to be living in the roof space, which I think is a much better use of a building than having an empty loft space. So even though it's going to be slightly bigger than the properties opposite, it's not going to be hugely different.
I think
Yeah, okay.
if it was moved away from the pavement,
If it was moved in from being slap bang on the pavement, if they did have, a small, metre or so of just off pavement frontage, if it could just be moved a smidge backwards, that would be great. Which all the other surrounding properties,
Yeah.
they've all got
Here,
little
isn't it?
front,
Because there
yeah.
are no.
None of them do tend to be right on the pavement. They do all have a bit of frontage.
Yeah.
That's almost right opposite where we have the one that came through last week, that came through today, where they want to have the standalone building.
No, I know. Yeah. And of course that's gable-ended as well, isn't it, that comes out onto the street, so
Okay, I think I've captured
I think-
I've captured your comments then.
wonderful.
So that's the room. Joanna abstain. Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I'm just trying to get my, yes. Oh. So that's the biggest one for this evening, so hopefully we can get through the others quite quickly. Right, application 2, stop it. Right, application 2, PA 25/02795, C-Space, proposed use of C-Space for offices, including conference facilities, food and beverage services with associated works. Well, this is what it used to be, isn't it? So it's just, yeah. Joanna?
I think it's interesting that a few years ago, the flavour of the month was having temporary offices and hot desking, and it hasn't worked. Pentile House is exactly the same. They've gone permanent now and got rid of the hot desking. So, yeah, I've got no problem with this.
Yeah. I'm just sort of like chattering away, give Duncan a chance to beaver in the background.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So, same developers.
So there's city space road ahead, which report, and so that will just open up, and that's our street scene coming up now. In your own time. There we go. And the street scene is kind of quite important to this application actually. So yeah, so once upon a time this was a 57-bedroom Sunnyside hotel. Planning consent from 2018 allowed some secondary areas within the hotel to be given over to office space. A section of the building has effectively become office spaces. The remaining areas that remain unchanged are now vacant and are currently being converted into additional office space. So bear in mind the work has actually begun. That is detailed in this application, okay? So the bits that were unchanged by the 2018 application are now being changed into additional office space, complemented by the addition of conference facilities and food and beverage offerings at the front of the building. We've got the planning statement gives us quite a succinct sort of overview of what they're doing. So internally, the ground floor will be reconfigured to house office spaces alongside the addition of a conservatory area, creating a more flexible and appealing work environment. The first and second floors both will be entirely converted into adaptable working spaces featuring small offices, a large boardroom, several meeting rooms, kitchenettes, catering to businesses of various size and needs. Externally, at the front, a new food market will be introduced, enhancing the street frontage and contributing to the vibrancy of the public space. And it says this will provide a welcoming and lively environment for both workers and passers-by. And at the rear, they're adding a surface store, 2 bin stores and a bike store, and an existing outbuilding will be converted into facilities that include showers and WC provisions. Furthermore, a hot tub will be installed to enhance the amenities available for users. So you can go to the office and have a hot tub during your lunch hour, which I think the town council ought to bring in as well, to be honest. And this will support both relaxation and the wellness aspect of the development. So effectively, that's what they're doing. So the internal changes, there were rooms that were still hotel rooms. I don't think they've been used for some time. They are now going to be office space. Perhaps the most interesting part of this is what's happening at the front. Maybe you may disagree.
Yeah, because I mean, they had that as car parking spaces, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they had at the back that you could take food. They had. It's going to be a spa and things, but they did have it as pizza.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, no, they did, and they had it as a bar and stuff downstairs.
Yeah.
What direction is it that looks over?
So it's the west end of the Killer Court. So it's looking east. But it has that alleyway that goes up past Sprout, basically has entrance then into the courtyard area at the back, which would have been the delivery entrance for when it was a house, I imagine, originally.
I think the ground floor plans are a good place to start with this.
Because the courtyard area at the back is huge.
Yeah, so this is, and hopefully you can see, you've got a building frontage, and then it's sort of got these 2 wings.
Yeah.
That's the open courtyard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are they going to have to look at the food market?
So the
So
market's
that's-
going to be
yeah.
at the front here.
I'll zoom in on that a little bit.
Yeah. And then
So,
it just leaves 4
yeah.
car parking spaces.
So originally, at the moment, it's demarcated as 5 car parking spaces. What they've got is their food offerings that they're talking about. They're saying food vans.
It's not the same thing, is it, really?
Not quite, no.
No.
But well, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of.
What are they using the space at the back for?
Well, it used to have a Pizza Hut in this section here. And it was just outside benches, and I think there was a covered over area. Didn't it have like a marquee like structure over it that they used to do out here that you could eat and things?
They have a sauna as well, like some sort of sauna.
Yeah, like
Uh,
a plunge, like a, yeah, cold plunge and a
That
sauna
was
thing.
they had like a gypsy caravan kind of thing
Yeah.
in there, didn't
So
they?
what are they planning to do now with it?
So they are. The rear, we have there's a bin store, a bike store, a surf store, and a conservatory. So these are all sort of outbuildings at the back, and then
And a big empty
a
space.
little conservatory bit that's being built on the rear of that sort of front-facing bit
Yeah.
of building. So they're not doing a massive amount with it.
No, it's still a big empty space, isn't it?
Is there any entrance to it?
Yeah, at the back. So that's
Yeah.
the lane at the back. So Sprout is up here. So that's the back lane, and then they've got this gated access from the lane.
Crescent Lane, I believe it's
Yeah.
called. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the first floor and the second floor, I mean, they don't really show. The first floor certainly doesn't show a great number of changes because that's already been turned into office space. Second floor, hotel rooms are being repurposed as workspaces. I
Yeah.
mean, we could look at them if you like, but it's not particularly.
They've just been empty and
it
not
doesn't
used.
really add much to your understanding of it.
No. I mean, I haven't got any huge problems with
No
with
changes
this.
to the exterior at the front and very little at the rear. Probably one of the main changes is losing a parking space and having food vans here.
Yeah. I wish I knew more about those 3 food vans, but still.
I was just going to add that oddly, there are actually free parking along the Crescent, so, I mean, they're always full. But technically, there are parking spaces there.
You're on the other side of the road where cars are parked, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say there are just about seeing
Yeah.
the alleys all on that side. So effectively, if we
I
come
mean,
along here-
it is a bit cluttered in front there, isn't
I
it?
mean,
So
if-
what's it saying it's going to have is those 4 spaces there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this car, that one, and the bike that was there are all parked erroneously, and then we're going to have maybe 3 food vans here, which I've got to admit, I know it's not a busy road. It's right opposite the Killer Court, with people crossing over that, you know, children going, oh, let's go over that, and running straight over the road. Can you just scan road? What's behind the car? Oh, we've got the fence there, so they can't do that. They shouldn't be doing that. Okay.
It's not
No.
busy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That is them blocking, that's a fire door, isn't it? That line there, I imagine, is a fire exit. So where was that van positioned? That one on there? Is it positioned over the fire exit? That's meant to be kept clear. Yes.
So
Which is, that's
the
the
food
that's the fire
vans,
door.
because they're all within 5 metres of the publicly maintained highway, they're all going to need, if they were
Need
well,
licensing.
food vans or anybody, to be honest,
Yeah.
that would be considered street
Like-
trading, and those would have
Yeah,
to sort
yeah.
of follow as separate applications, because there's, you know, potentially there's noise and odour.
Yeah.
You know, these people might not be happy waking up to the smell of fried onions, etc. You know,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So there would be,
And noise and stuff,
if it were approved, and if they went ahead with that, there would be further applications
Yeah.
to cover the food traders.
So I'm happy to have no objection to this, pending the positioning of those food vans and that licences for them are applied for.
Right. Well, that's the food licences are neither here. You couldn't condition the planning condition.
Well, I've put no objection, so, okay, so
Yeah.
sort of the expectation is then that they,
Yes. I mean,
we don't know.
That's not Petrol's house, is it? One of those is Petrol's house.
Don't
yeah,
know.
it might be. I'm not certain. I know one of them is. It might be that one actually.
Has anybody got anything else they want to add to that? Is somebody going to second me on? Sandy's going to second me on that one, so in favour of no objection then?
Right. Okay.
What's your vote?
Okay. And Karen's abstaining.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll note about
The positioning of those
the
vans.
vans and plus the fire safety, the fire exit.
The fire exit there, yeah. And, well, you could say hope to see that they'll be coming through as licensing in the future.
Yeah, well, I'll say that we note that the food
Yeah.
vans would need separate permission.
Yeah. Right, okay, right. Application 3, PA 25/06037, 10 Park. Is that Joan? Joan. On Edgecombe Gardens. Construction of a third floor extension to an existing 3-storey dwelling with alterations to the existing roof form to be replaced with a mono-pitch roof incorporating a central... God, grief. Yeah, they're doing stuff with the roof.
It's not one of the most beautiful.
No, it's not. No. It's not. I don't.
Sorry.
Nothing that.
Okay, so what we are looking at is the Carnway Apartments here, and this, the Carnway.
It's indicating green. It isn't green now. I don't think.
Green, and what, these bits here?
Yeah, between, yeah, that's not, I don't think it's green
You've
now.
got the Premier Inn Hotel
Yeah.
And
to the sort of north of it.
And then the TPO tree. Remember we saved the TPO tree from being trimmed?
This one here.
It's a bit like a building plot at the back there.
Yeah, it is at the moment.
Yeah. And then you've got these still under construction, sort of phase 2 of the Cliff Edge Apartments, which is quite close. So you've got the Carnbray Apartments just to the south of it, and the Park Jowan ones to the south of it. So this seeks permission for the addition. It's currently a 2-storey. It wants a 3rd floor adding onto the top of it, and that will allow for creation of a master bedroom with ensuite facilities and a private balcony. The balcony will be facing this way. Okay. So
it does say on. Sorry, it does say on here construction of a 3rd floor extension to an existing 3-storey dwelling.
Sorry, it's not 2 stories. It's 3-storey. Ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor, and they want to put the 3rd one on the top. And it's going to have it's going to be a master bedroom with a balcony. So we have a really useful artist's impression.
Yeah. There we go.
So that I think that
Yeah.
helps us quite a lot in understanding what we're talking about. I do like these things. They're much better than just flat elevations. So helps us understand the orientation, especially with regard to the balcony, and the unusual combination of this mono-pitch roof with a pitched roof dormer
Yeah.
cut into it as well.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't think we've seen that
Yeah.
very often, if at all.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
We'll have a quick look at the elevations. I would have preferred slightly better labelling on this, because you can see, I mean, this isn't north facing, this is sort of northwest, that's north-east. But they didn't label it up like that anyway. So the first one that we were going to have a look at was the south elevations. So that's your existing. When it says south, it means southwest facing.
Yeah.
So just going back to this, that's kind of sort of facing this way across the car park. So
Can I just interrupt, Duncan? Can I have our proposing an extension of time, please? Yeah, second. Can we have the we'll go for the hour. Hopefully we'll be really done before that.
It's any higher than the existing buildings
No,
surrounding it. I don't think you can see it from the street.
It's going to be the only issue I saw was if windows were at the back of that development there, but it's that was the only thing. But they probably, that development has the staircases at the back, I imagine, and it's not going to have a problem because that's quite, having an exterior balcony, if that is your bedroom window at the back, that's quite close. No, no. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, he's just given himself some outdoor
I
amenities.
mean,
first,
just
hasn't
like,
he?
I mean, I would say that you can have this balcony here,
Yeah, it is actually quite a distance actually there, isn't it?
10 metres.
10 metres, yeah, yeah.
So you're going to be 10
Yeah.
metres away from looking into people's windows there.
Yeah. So as I said, I suspect the staircases are at the back.
This is why it's showing you
Yeah, yeah.
the elevation. It's got a 1.1 metre glass balustrade
Balustrade,
around
yeah,
it. There's
yeah.
no side screening or anything
Yeah.
like that. So yeah.
I'm quite happy with this to propose. No objection, subject to no overlooking. Seconder? Yeah, all in favour? Yeah, all in favour. Whoop, whoop. Brilliant. You okay there, Duncan? Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Application 4 I'm doing, so PA 25/07055, 25 Trebarwith Crescent, Newquay. Change of use of existing residential annex to holiday letting accommodation with no operational development proposed, and it's retrospective, so they're already doing this. So when Duncan gets these out, what you're going to think is like, oh my gosh, they had that as an annex. It is small. Its area is 22.82 metres square. I know, Joanna. Yes.
I think Duncan will always say this, but effectively, I went back to look at the previous planning permission, 2021, when they got an annex. You know how cynical I am about annexes, and it was all to do with his poor old mother who was going to be living in the annex. But it's been sold on to somebody else.
Yeah, and then
they've turned it into holiday accommodation.
So here we have, this is the tram tracks here, and then parallel to the tram tracks is a back track. So I think the street view I have demonstrates this from the bridge. I think the next image, hopefully, is street view down. Oh, no, it's not. No.
Rear access road.
There we go. So that's the rear access. So you've just crossed over the bridge. The bridge is just sort of like here behind Duncan, and that's the pathway going down the back, which the only access to this accommodation is down this pathway and a gate in. So granny annex or holiday accommodation, the only way you can get to that holiday accommodation is going down this parallel track here. The street view. You can get down the other way down that track as well. Yes, there is a break in it before it stops being pedestrian and the bollard. So effectively you can access this track here from that end as well. But it's not a vehicle access. It is, you'll just Yeah, you can go in there.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
if you go through that.
So, is there vehicle access in that? Oh, it could be the back of a car there, isn't there? Yeah. It's very narrow going down there. No, especially taking that turning in from the other end. Or, I mean, can you only get it?
Vehicles have got in from that bridge.
They have got in that bridge road, haven't they? Good grief. Right, anyway. So if we look at, it's both the existing and proposed plan, because it's already there. And there we go. So there it is. That's the house, and this is it in effectively what was their back garden. So that's the gate onto that track, and it goes straight in to the its door. This is the kitchen, kitchen unit. This is the toilet, shower, sitting area, and a double bed, and a little dining table and 2 chairs looking out the window. So it's got a wall just outside the window. That's its outlook for those 2 windows. There we go. And it's got a window there looking over to a wall there. It's got no outlook on this side. And then it's got these double doors onto the patio for when it was an annex. And I suppose getting access to Granny more readily than walking all the way round. So its area that they give in the application is 22.82 metres squared. So for a single person, for a single Granny X, then that would have been adequate. As a holiday let, we're not talking quality holiday letting, isn't it? And it's just a shame, I think. But we've met this before when we objected to a holiday let on a conservatory footprint. Do you remember that up on off Henver Road? Yeah. And it went through because they said it was sustainable because it was near to amenities, which of course this is. So even though I don't particularly like it, because for me it's not, Newquay's then not offering quality holiday accommodation, they've been operating it as such, and my laptop's deciding to open Teams up for me of its own free will. If we have a quick look at the elevations, if we just have a quick look at those. Oh, God, stop it. I don't want Teams. Go away. There we go. It's a wooden shed. It's a glorified wooden shed in the back garden that's already there and operating as a holiday let. Right, I think Karen was first and then Joanna. Karen?
I would like to object to this, but because the reason I'd like to object to it is I don't think it's change of use to holiday letting accommodation. It's not a granny annex at all. It's holiday letting accommodation. It's in a really tight residential area, and the holiday let has got access to being outdoors on a decking area, which will disturb those neighbours. So can we object on the basis that the change of use is inappropriate?
The trouble is that I think holiday letting isn't that the same clause as just accommodation and things? I mean, really, they're applying from an annex, aren't they, to being residential?
But it's short-term lets, and people on holiday are going to be making noise. They've got a decking area to sit outside and disturb all of those neighbours.
The thing is that some people come down on holiday to Newquay and make noise, and some people don't. And there is different legislation that covers noise nuisance. I know it's not helpful, but as a material consideration in planning, it's being concerned about the noise probably isn't that going to carry that much weight.
But these people who have put in for this planning consent are being honest and saying it's change of use from existing residential to holiday letting, surely we can object to that because it's unsuitable in that area.
Only site allocations that, when I looked at it a few hours ago, only site allocations that.
Letter, I think it says, after discussion. I mean, can I come in? I mean, I tend to agree. I don't think it will be futile objecting to this but they got permission on the basis that it was to house an elderly relative, and the officer approved it and sort of said, and but basically there's a dependency between the annex and the main building, and that was fine because it was for a relative.
Yeah.
This is now a separate a unit of accommodation. Had they come in with that, I don't think we would have objected to it. I would.
I'm just confused. You put
So this planning submission follows the correspondence issued by Cornwall Council directed to Miss Nick, blah, 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 requesting that a change of use planning application is submitted. I think this is a planning enforcement issue, reading between the lines, because they are already using it as holiday accommodation.
I bet the neighbours are complaining already.
I think so. However, we can't judge that. But it doesn't seem to be an appropriate building.
Yes, yeah, it's not going to work. Yes, not appropriate.
I'm concerned that its use conflicts with the permission that was given to it in the first place.
Exactly. I think we need to use this committee to start objecting to things like this. This is out of order, really. Planning permission was given for an elderly relative, and now they're just wanting to change it for holiday letting, and it's going to impact on those neighbours because they've got outside space, and it's they're not connected to the main building, the house, and I think we should, as a committee, object to this. This has been done retrospectively as well, which is out of order.
It isn't illegal to do stuff and then apply for planning permission afterwards.
Okay, well. Yes, I am. We object to this because it's inappropriate to that residential area. And planning permission was given initially because it was for a relative or an elderly person, member of the family, and now it's not.
Can I add to that objection and just say it's not really the level of quality. I think it's substandard, and reputationally that would bring, negative to Newquay, which is, we're trying to move on from those days, not encourage the return to it. So I would second that.
I could just do with
I
when
don't think we
when I
will.
write this up, I could just do with a little bit more clarity. The poor quality holiday accommodation I get,
Yeah.
the being inappropriate to a residential area. What does that actually mean?
Can we have a look at the
I need-
satellite image, please?
Yeah, sure.
Can we see if there's any other? Well, Sue got a caravan in their back garden there. And let's just hope that they're letting that out. Or are we going to be able to tell?
No, I don't think you're really going to be able to tell what's going on, to be honest.
The original planning permission said it should only be occupied by members of the family or non-paying guests.
Yeah.
Reason: the local planning authority considered that the proposed annex would be inappropriate for occupation independent of the main dwelling
Yeah.
by virtue of the physical relationship between the annex and the main house,
Yeah.
which would create inadequate levels of residential amenity for the occupiers of both, in accordance with policy, whatever. So, so I don't think it's PA. It doesn't say.
Yes, I've already looked
Yeah,
at
yeah.
it, and it was
would
conditioned
not have- we
to
would
family
not
or
have supported-
non-paying guests.
Had it came and they knocked down the garden shed to do this. Had it come in as a unit of holiday accommodation, we would have objected. So
Yeah.
I've got no problem with objecting.
Is that okay then, Jonathan? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
yeah, inappropriate to. I'm just going to write inappropriate to a residential area and see what they
Well,
come
you
back
quote
with.
the reasoning of the planning officer.
Yeah.
Right.
From the previous obligation.
Wasn't that to do with
It said
shouldn't
it
be a
would affect-
separate residential unit of accommodation due to space restrictions, so it'd be too
It's
small.
because of the relationship between the annex and the main house would create inadequate levels of residential amenity for the occupiers of both.
Yeah.
So effectively,
They've got no
affecting
garden.
the amenity of the host
Of
house.
both. It's just that bit of decking, which is effectively for the house and for the holiday let. Or if they lock the doors from the holiday let, then it has nothing, and they've just got that bit of decking right up against that double door.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the direction to go. Right.
Okay, brilliant. Right. Oh, swiftly moving on. Application 5, PA 25/06423, 38 Hillgrove Road. Proposed raising of roof alterations, and conversion of loft with front, rear and side dormers. You all right, Francis? Okay. And on page 8 of your pack, then this bit here refers to that, rather than, it's got the one we've just looked at, that bit's wrong. All right.
Yeah, so we've
Oh gosh, it's this one. Oh,
yeah, so
yes.
it's back in June.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we objected
Oh,
to very similarly described proposals at this address. The application was withdrawn by the applicant in July. Key concerns included new first floor rear views leading to a
Yeah.
loss of privacy to neighbours, and the appearance being out of keeping with the neighbouring co-joint property, the other half of the semi-detached property. I mean, basically they were squaring off this whole
Yeah.
roof. So you're going to have one half of the property that has
Really
kind of very
incongruous.
square model, and then the other half would have had this hipped pitch.
Is that two households or?
yeah,
Households,
yeah. Two separate properties.
they really like square off the whole building. What we are looking at now is a if you look at that top left, the street facing elevation, you've gone from a dormer that covers the full width of the roof and the building to something that's reduced. If you look at that north elevation, side elevation, obviously the dormers don't look different because the drawing flattens it out, but what they've done is reduced the front and rear dormer so that you've still got the pitch of the hipped roof, but then they appear to have put what they call a gable dormer on the end of it, which you can kind of see here, sort of sticking out.
So, I mean, sorry.
New views at first floor level in a rearwards direction as well.
Down into the
I think it becomes a 5-bedroom property
Oh,
by the end
for goodness
by
sake.
the
I
end
mean,
of
it's
it,
tiny.
which is that's a lot of bedrooms for
It
a
is a
little
lot of
bungalow.
bedrooms. Oh, really?
what we wrote last time.
Yes.
The pleasure, Karen. Oh, there we go. There we go. Karen's proposing. Seconder? Oh, Francis is going to second. All in favour of objection?
Lovely.
Is it? I thought it was Kevin's. Is it? All the way down? I don't think it. I think it is at the stops at the top with Hillgrove Mews. I don't think you go all the way down on that side. I think that's Kevin.
That's Hillgrove Mews on the other side of the road.
On that side of the road. On the wrong side of the road.
You're on the wrong side of the road.
If that's on that side.
That's the Chester Road side. That. Oh,
Okay.
there we go. Right, cleared that one up. Right, terms of harassment and risk assessment update, Duncan.
I think I mentioned that the terms of
Yeah,
reference
it's gonna be
is
changed
going to be
at
at full
full
council
council
tomorrow, so
tomorrow.
just
Yeah.
if you go in, pay attention to that.
Yeah. Reports and recommendation of working parties. Joanna, yeah, go for it.
Parking. I have been sending things round to the parking working party. I had a meeting on Monday, but only Nick could make it. But that was quite an interesting discussion, not particularly on this. What's happened
To
is
with taxes.
that Dan Rogerson, who's the cabinet member, has said he's received a number of applications to change individual car parking. So what he wanted, well, he's asked all divisional members to talk about what they wanted to do with the parking in their divisions. And I've got most of them in my division in UK, so no surprise, I want to get back to free parking after 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
In order to do that, I've got to find an alternative form of income. Now, what happened when they introduced the banding, which we objected to? They took the coastal car parks, Belmont, Dane, Albany, what's left of Tregunwell, and they reduced the parking charges. It went down from £1.70 to £1 or something. I mean,
And Pentar, I presume.
Sorry?
And Pentar.
Well, Pentar we can forget about because
Yeah, I know,
Pentar was an A.
Right,
So
okay.
that was a top rate. No, these were
Okay.
Bs, and they I mean, who in their right mind decreases
Yeah.
the prices of the car park, Belmont, which is closest to Fistral Beach? It's cost the council tens of thousands. I'm looking at, and they also reduced the rate for the summer of the manor. So what I'm basically saying is, and I've looked at all the figures and the, I don't know if you want to show any of the stuff.
Yeah, no, tell me what you want to see.
I don't think we can show the Is there a way we can show the footfall without broadcasting it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm not-
because
I'm
I
not-
think you
no,
might be interested
I've
in the
stopped
book.
sharing my screen, so
Yes.
only the people in this room that-
Right, okay, if we can do that, because if you look at that is actually very worrying. That brown one at the bottom is this year's footfall. Now there isn't a 2023, but that is a big drop. Now I don't know whether it's because it was excellent weather, because Newquay tends to get more people when it rains, but I don't know what's caused that. I mean, if you look at the others, the yellow one is the COVID boost. And then you've got 2024, which is last year, which is relatively okay. And then you've got this year that is really down. We've also got freedom of information stuff, which is really interesting if you look at it. It gives you the change in income, and it also gives you how many tickets are being sold at which price. Now, they don't give us a comparison, but actually now we've got 2 or 3 of them. You can do your own comparison. And what's happened is that in terms of numbers, the reduced price in Dane and Belmont and have made really very little difference in footfall. They're perhaps a little higher then, but a little higher now, but that's got that doesn't seem to be enough for the pricing. They have lost tens of thousands. I reckon it's £50,000 by doing this, by reducing the prices when visitors use the thing.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is, and that's what I would like to go back with, is to say let's get our four. I don't think I might not have enough money to do it in the Manor, but certainly I think we can do it in St George's and Mount Wise. Is that we go back to 3 after 4, and that we pay for it by increasing the prices, maybe back to no more than their previous level. But,
so that's absolutely.
I've pushed that round to the Parking Working Party. Nobody's said you're out of your mind.
Which is what the report that you wrote originally, wasn't it, when we were quite asked about your feedback about and I'm quite happy to go along with that.
Fine, some of that is quite similar to what I wrote before.
Yeah. It's just tweaking with that, and that's fine. And I think, are you recommending the Harbour Car Park as well?
No, the Harbour Car Park is different because it's not part of, it only refers to the harbour. They went in they got very cross with me when I mentioned it to them. Because they were saying, no, we're very happy to be Type A. The main problem, I thought, with the Harbour Car Park was they changed they had a 5R band because of the boat trips.
The boat
they
trips,
reduced it to 4.
Yeah.
But it's up to them. So I will probably put a note in to say I'm not talking about the harbour, it's not part of the thing. I mentioned Tregunnell, but refer to it being out of my division. I would love to do something about Watergate, but that really is a long way away from me. But I think what I have discovered, and what I hadn't realised, was that some of the season tickets are really good. I didn't know there was a resident season ticket.
Yeah, no, there's always been
7 months. You can get 7 months in one of these, and it's at the moment it's £202, I think, for a resident, which is 50% of the cost. And it's, I mean, that's less than £30 a month, which £1 a day. I mean, I think that's a really, really good deal. So
but I think this, as I said, the daily rate was £10 something, wasn't it, for the day, and yet the weekly rate was something like £22.50, and it's sort of like, that's what I think that weekly rate definitely needs increasing for St George's Car Park, because that is the one you use for the cinema. It's going to get clogged up by Airbnbers.
Well, not if it's free after 4 o'clock.
But if people are going to park there for the week and just pay £20 to get their car off the road for the week, they're just going to have it. They're just going to fill it up. St George's Car Park. It's St George's Car Park which is the key. It's because that is really the cinema car park, and that for people like that, that's the one that I use coming for, and that's why it's full for when people go to the cinema.
I think it's a difficult one to argue, because we are a tourist town, and I mean, you welcome a rate so that an accommodation provider can say to a customer, you can go and buy a week's ticket for £16.80, I think, at the moment. So,
and that's fine, but that's fine if it's Tregunnell. It's fine if it's Mats.
You can only have season. No, the weeklies are really quite short. Is there weekly now in?
There is weekly rates up there, yes, of just £20 for the week, when the daily rate is over 10. That's
so
just
you would
nuts.
like me to say, I'm not sure. You might.
Tregunnell needs to offer the weekly.
Yes.
Hang on, I'm just going to check.
I mean, Mount Wise, I think they all do offer a weekly rate, and I was saying St George's shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I suspect as well, getting the right way round. What's the one along from here?
Right, weekly. All right.
Manor Car Park shouldn't either.
Okay, Mount Wise currently the weekly price is £27.50. £27.90. And that's in Mount Wise and St George's, you're right. And the Manor, those are all £27.90. Tregunnell is £16.80 for a weekly ticket.
Yeah.
And they, Tregonwell, Dane, Belmont, what's the other one? Tregonwell, Belmont, Dane, Tregonwell, one of the others, Albany perhaps, they all have season, they're the ones that have the season tickets. We've only got season tickets and the charge for Watergate is higher than the other 5. But effectively we only have season tickets in those coastal car parks now.
Which again, if it's a resident, so which one has residential tickets then that you can get?
Those 5, because they're the only ones with season tickets. So it's Belmont, Dane, Trenance and Tolcarn. I'm assuming the new Tolcarn car park will be the same.
But where residents really have issues parking is round St George's and Manor, isn't it? That's your highest concentration,
Yeah,
especially around St John's Road and around there.
The problem is by giving them, you're saying a weekly ticket is aimed, you're probably saying a weekly ticket is aimed at the tourist trade.
It is,
because
yes.
a resident's parking permit will
Yeah.
give you £1.
Yeah.
£1.
Yeah.
So you'd like me to what? To say, would you consider putting the residents' parking up, weekly tickets up?
Either weekly tickets up, but preferably not weekly tickets at St George's and not Manor Road, the one from here, St Michael's Road, isn't it? Manor Car Park.
It's the
No.
Manor.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be out in
Yeah, Manor Car Park. Yes, it is Manor
Manor
Car
Car Park and St George's. There
Would
shouldn't
be-
be availability to park a week
No.
in those 2
Car parks.
Why?
Without a doubt. Why? Because we want to encourage people to
Be day visitors.
day visitors, come into Newquay, free parking after 4 p.m. Brilliant. Shopkeepers will be delighted over that.
Yeah. Rather than it's effectively like bed blocking.
If you
It's
allow-
So would
space
you-
blocking.
Would you say limit the, because it's interesting, they only do season tickets on what I call the coastal car parks. I'm not entirely in agreement with this, but I'm perfectly happy to say the town council consider that the weekly tickets are, because it's really odd, we've only got one short-term car park, which is 4th Street, which is the world's most expensive car park. But we have no short-term car parks. I think the Manor and certainly the Manor and Mount Wise and maybe St George's separately want it longer for cinema tickets. I mean, it's amazing that in the daytime they are not short-term car parks.
Well, they should be available
Yeah.
short term.
Yeah.
Absolutely should be available. It
'Cause-
shouldn't be available for weekly tickets.
Right.
People want to park a week, they go up to,
Tregonwell. Yeah.
It's a big,
I can certainly put that in and say
Yeah.
it makes sense for shopkeepers, residents, it makes sense.
I mean, at the moment, if I come in to go to the cinema, I park at St George. I look to park on Crantock Street because I drive around that way. But if I go to St George, if I'm there and it's before wherever it is 6 o'clock, then I'm paying £4.80 to go to the cinema on top of my cinema ticket.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. It is, so, right, okay.
So I'll mention it.
Yeah, if you can do.
So
So,
you're happy with this? You're happy with the idea of putting up the prices in the coastal car parks
Yes,
back to their
yes,
previous
yes,
level?
Yeah.
back to their previous level, not even
When will
increasing
the-
them. Yeah.
When will the after 4 p.m. kick in?
Well, I don't know. I don't know because they may not agree with me.
Because it's coming up to
Yeah.
Christmas.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I
So,
presume it'd be
as
like the end of October.
As of tomorrow, no, as of the 1st of November,
Yeah.
then everything is free post 4 p.m. I think, even the Manor, because they go on to winter rates.
Right, okay.
And I think you're shaking your head. You don't think
No,
so?
I think you pay all year round now. I think that came in.
Minutes.
I think that was Councillor Gardner's parting gift.
4 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll see.
I think it could be £2.20 for the evening, but
Winter, the Manor. No, it's free after 4 o'clock.
okay.
Yeah, because I think
Beg
that's because
pardon.
they're using what they call category B prices. So from November to April the 1st to March, We've got the next 4, those 4 months will be free.
Yeah, I mean,
So obviously a full price.
the evenings in the middle of Newquay are really quiet.
Yeah. They've made quite a lot of money from that evening charge, particularly on the Manor. They've had about 15,000 people going in, so that's quite a lot of money. But
But
I think by increasing the car parking charges elsewhere, because they've lost thousands, tens of thousands. I mean, 50,000 is probably
But it's
less.
too cheap for the weekly parking.
it is too cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I will put that in.
I mean, they have to bear in mind as well, losing a third of Tregonwell
Yeah.
is going to be on that, isn't it?
Tregonwell.
Yeah.
So
We
much
won't
money.
go on that one anymore. Something else, can we put in a long-term park and ride scheme, please?
I don't think that's the appropriate for this
Okay,
particular. I
okay.
think we will have a chance to when they next come in with a parking order, because I know they are putting the 6% up. I assume that will come out as a parking order, and we will consult on that. At that point, you can.
Okay.
But at this point, we're just sort of saying,
Okay.
what do you want to do with the car parks in your division? So I'm being slightly cheeky by talking about
Okay.
Tregonwell.
Okay.
I copied Drew in, so we're
Okay.
lucky we'll agree.
Brilliant.
So
No
that's
other-
really all I wanted to find
Yeah.
out, that you're genuinely in support of what I'm saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. Do we need to vote on that? No, we don't. Do we, Duncan?
I don't think
No?
so. I think it's.
No, I don't. I mean,
No.
I've only received these today.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
hasn't been on the
Yeah, yeah.
paper. It hasn't been on the papers long
But I just
enough
think
to be a
that's exactly
decision-making
what
item anyway.
I'm not entirely sure what it's measuring, but there is a worry why there was such a big drop. Was the sun good or bad?
Just ask, has the Parking Working Party actually met?
Well, only because nobody could, it did on Monday.
Why couldn't
It
we
was
make
only
it?
Nick, because everybody else would.
Oh, right, okay.
I'll just take that.
Yeah.
But we need to remember to include Jessie, because she didn't know what was happening on the.
Okay.
I know she's very interested in parking. Somehow she didn't get involved. She didn't do the right thing, so I'll make sure
Okay.
she's included next time. Oh, I thought she was so
Right, financial statement then, Duncan. You've been skiing?
I was asked to put the derelict buildings on.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And I was
derelict
asked to
buildings,
put
right.
community governance review.
Okay.
Right, so
on-
the
on
derelict
this,
buildings
so-
is meeting tomorrow.
Which I can't make again because I've got a clash of meeting.
We had our first meeting, and effectively it was basically we need to agree a list of derelict buildings, prioritise your top 2, of which is extremely likely to be the Hotel Bristol and that complex, and then Cornwall Council will provide the resource to deal with the top 2, and we'll just
Yeah.
keep a working
Yeah.
brief. We will probably have a walk around town once we've identified our
Yeah.
buildings, and it's sites as well, so you've got Whipsney as well as a site.
Yeah.
You've got possibly the chemist that's sort of seems to
Case the
have stopped
chemist over there,
developing, yeah.
stop
So we'll
doing
probably
things.
finish up with about 20 things on the list, but what we can do about them, it's as well to just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I asked you to put the corporate governance review on because at some stage we need to think about that we need to try and get our parish to be extended to include all these new estates that are being developed supposedly in Newquay,
In the name
but
of
they're all in
Newquay.
Kernan. It's ridiculous.
So nothing's happened with that? So
No,
there's nothing
I'm
to
not
report
sure.
back.
I don't think Cornwall, I did raise it at Cornwall Council, they weren't terribly enthusiastic.
Right.
But
Okay.
it must
I
be
will-
2 years since they turned us down last time, so we can...
I'll mention that. There is no terms of reference for that working party, and there is no listed membership for that working party either.
No, we'd have to,
No.
we'd have
So
to
just-
re-establish it.
just so that you know.
And as far as the neighbourhood plan is concerned, we do need to re-establish that, but it's difficult to do when you're thinking you're not going to be doing anything until... I think probably we will start when the local plan starts, which is 26.
Oh, has anybody looked at that training event about the statements with that? Because was it earlier today?
No, but it's,
Because-
yeah, it was
The
like
priority statements.
finished 45 minutes before this meeting
Yeah,
started.
yeah,
so I
it's-
wasn't
no,
having
no,
anything
we're
to
gonna
do with
do
it.
it.
I'll have a look at it and I'll
So-
email stuff round to people.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of the summary
that.
points was it hasn't got any policies in it. So if you haven't got a policy in it, what's it for?
I got the impression that a neighbourhood priority statement was sort of if you hadn't got a neighbourhood plan, then one of these,
Yeah.
these might be good. So I didn't seem that relevant to us anyway.
No,
But
no.
I'll see what's there and I'll email it around to people.
Yeah. Okay, right, financial statement, Duncan. You've been skiing.
Financial statement. No purchases made, no payments to authorise. As an information item, I met with Anne Banks last week. She wanted to talk about the budget for this committee. I think, for those who don't know, this committee receives £2,500 a year, which is earmarked for
neighbourhood
for
plan.
a reserve, which is eventually going to pay for the new neighbourhood plan. So we stuff it away every year.
Yeah.
How much have we got at the moment?
We got, I think that she said that it might, I'm going to say don't quote me on this, I think she said it might be £13,000.
30.
1-3.
113.
Yes, that's more.
Yeah.
So
Does that-
15,000 next year.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is we'll be looking to recommend the Planning and Licensing Committee budget for the next civic year sometime soon. I'll possibly bring that along, put that on the agenda for our meeting on the 29th.
Yeah.
And at which point I will bring along a proper figure of what's in the EMR for the neighbourhood plan as well. Okay.
Sorry, there's no risk of losing that
No.
if you don't spend it
Oh, no.
straight away.
No, this goes back to a decision made some time ago where this money is very specific. It can only be spent on one thing, and we squirrel a bit away every year
Yeah.
into that fund.
Okay.
Yeah. And we didn't have any other correspondence. Nobody's, it's like a big mountain of mail that's come in, and so and we've had no decisions, have we?
No, well, we had because they come out on a Wednesday, the planning decisions, and for the first time ever there were no planning decisions for Newquay. and then the next lot
Good or
are out tomorrow because we've come on in on
Yeah.
the Tuesday rather
Yeah.
than Wednesday. So we have no planning decisions.
So, date of next meeting is everybody Wednesday the 15th of October, and there is the year going. So, thank you for being in and watching our Blue Moon planning of September, when we have three planning meetings in a month. Go us. Well done, everybody, and thank you.